I'm a traveling spirit, I've seen many shores, from the West Pacific to the island of Kenya. They treat me like a son anywhere I go, and even though no one can tell, I still feel that I'm alone. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm alone. Leave me stranded, I know how to handle it all on my own. On my own. Roll up my window, don't know where I'm bound. Driving by the river, there's a hole in the ground. Hand-me-down t-shirt sticking on my back. Heading for a fall. Had to get up to crawl. I ain't got no time to stall. On my way to nowhere, I'm not afraid at all.
Okay, right, campsite tour time. This campsite is just outside Amboise, which looks like a really interesting place. We're going to go and have a look around tomorrow. Let me show you. It's very quiet, so I can give you a little show round. Masses of shade, really useful when it's as hot as it has been. It's a little bit cooler today, so that's good. We actually moved pitches to get a bit more sunshine. That's where we were yesterday. By quite a busy road, you might be able to hear that, and a railway line not too far away, but didn't cause us any disturbance whatsoever. There's a basketball pitch there and table tennis tables. Bulls pitch there. Children's playground. A swimming pool. It's heated. It is covered, which is a bit of a downside at this time of year, but equally they've got doors open so it's not too hot. A few mobile homes. You are nicely separated from them so you don't get disturbed if they are noisy. That's what I found with them. Sometimes they can be a bit noisy when you're in a caravan, you know, a motorhome or a tent as compared to something like that. Shower block, chemical toilet, emptying. Toilets, very nice toilets. That's the disabled one. They've all got toilet paper, but they haven't got toilet seats. It just makes it easier to clean, doesn't it? Which is nothing to complain about. Showers, cubicles, washing cubicles, showers, very nice, lots of places to put your stuff, and good hot showers, even if it is on a press button thing, which you just have to press it, don't you? Filling, water filling, and UV grey waste emptying, laundry, bins, and washing up area. None of the campsites seem to have bottle recycling, which is quite strange, but there you are. Reception is down there through a secure gate, and that is the campsite. Something I haven't mentioned is that the Loire Valley is a UNESCO World Heritage Site in its entirety. So that is a UNESCO World Heritage Site ticked off.
Always dangerous to go to a DIY shop somewhere else. French DIY shops are epic. Look, we can buy hen food. Can we buy some hen food? Buy pigeon food as well. Can we buy some hen food, please? Can we buy some? No?
No, you haven't got a hen.
Haven't got a hen. Oh. Hasn't got a rabbit either. maintenant. Pour la vente des poux.
Where is the hen going to sleep in the van?
Ah, that's a problem. Perhaps we can't buy a hen.
No. Amboise town centre. We think we probably should go and see a chateau, given that the Loire Valley is famous for its chateaus. Parking was a bit of a nightmare. I'll get what 3 words were we actually parked. A kind German person told us where to park when we were really struggling to get into a space. And it's absolutely perfect for vans.
What is it with towns that have a riverscape and use the riverscape as car park? We have the same problem at home.
In their defence, there is a restaurant on the river, just down there. First town we've managed to walk into, and it's closed because it's Monday. Yay! Well done us. Pretty little bakery there. It doesn't open on a Monday. And guess what day it is? Hoping to find a cafe or bar to get a cup of coffee. We found coffee.
Tudo que restou dessa fantasia foi sentimento e a fotografia. Tudo que ficou foi uma poesia e o eterno amor dessa alma vazia, com tantos passos para não cair. Não há mais nada do que desistir. O tempo se arrastou e levou as chances. Não sobrou mais nada depois da avalanche. Tudo que restou.
Up the steps into the castle.
The downside of castles is they're usually built up a hill. Impressive brick arch.
That was quite steep, but not too bad, considering that I've had a bad chest infection for a few months. I think I managed that all right. About €17 to go in, and that includes an audio guide.
Blimey, they need 4-wheel drive horses to come up here, wouldn't they? The terraces of the Royal Chateau of Amboise. Occupied since Neolithic times, Amboise became the main settlement of the Turon, a Celtic people. The first fortifications built on a rocky spur in the 4th century. The first trenches of the chateau were dug to defend the residences built above the town in 503. Clovis, king of the Franks, met Alaric, king of the Visigoths, on the Ile de Gore, Golden Island opposite the northern ramparts. The fortress was fiercely disputed during medieval times against a backdrop of rivalry between the counts of Anjou and Blois. In 1214, Philip Auguste, king of France, moved to Touraine. The lord of Amboise became his vassal. In 1431, Lord d'Amboise was sentenced to death for plotting against King Charles VII. He was finally pardoned, but forced to renounce the chateau, which was confiscated for the crown. C'est tout.
So we've just been in the chapel of Saint Hubert, which is my very best French accent, where the tomb of Leonardo da Vinci is. It was found in the 1960s, so may or may not be, to be fair. The Great Hall at Amboise Castle.
There's a certain link to a previous video if you've watched our Norfolk series and remember our visit to Fotheringhay. Mary Stuart, Queen of Scotland and then France, lived here briefly in Amboise Before returning to Scotland, finding Scotland in disarray due to religious discomfort and war, and then ended up back at Fotheringhay, where she was executed.
It's really very beautiful. Fantastic brickwork. This is a spiral ramp to bring the horses up to the top of the castle. What? We're going on a train. We love a train.
We are now arriving at the Château de Clos, where Leonardo da Vinci lived and died. Today is a very prestigious site of international fame, honouring his life.
Amboise is a really interesting place, definitely worth a visit. The castle was really good, quite interesting if you're interested in the French royal family, but equally quite interesting. Amboise is a World Heritage Site on its own, situated in a World Heritage Site. That is a double UNESCO World Heritage Site, if you ask me. It's been a lot cooler today, so that's a benefit. We decided against the Leonardo da Vinci house. Reading the reviews, it says it gets very crowded and there were huge numbers of coach parties. We're randomly driving around. We've been to a honey farm, which was interesting, and now we've stopped and we are here. Ville Rable. Beautiful view of the valley. And the church and the town hall, and I think that makes up Ville Rable. Ville Rable, I don't know how you say it. Ville Rable. We left our campsite this morning at about 12 o'clock. Goodness me, how did that happen? And we have driven around and driven to a few pretty little places, and we are now at our park up for tonight. This is free. It all looks a bit unofficial, but there you are. We arrived and sort of squidged into a corner out of the way. There's Claude, and then another van appeared and just parked, so not worried. It's a nice little park. There's table tennis tables, volleyball nets, football pitches, balls pitch, plenty of places to sit, plenty of bins, and it's really lovely. We have stopped in Fraze. It's a really pretty little town. Beautiful church. I think this must have been the washing area originally. My little bit of French tells me. This is absolutely gorgeous. Found a little pond. How pretty is that? photographs all over the place. I don't know why or what they are really.
Oh, technical washing device.
Yeah. Don't know if I'd want to wash my clothes in that though. It's a bit grim. You can pronounce that for yourself. No idea. Lafusard? Lafusard.
Lafusard?
Do you think?
Yeah. So we just happened upon this pretty little village en route to our next destination, and for once we stopped. All too often we don't. So many of these hidden gems. Fraze, what a remarkable place. Such a well-preserved village, nestled around a castle and church and a loop of the Facade River. It's gorgeous. The castle, which was completely destroyed during the 100 Years' Wars, was replaced in the second half of the 15th century, the beautiful remains of which can now be seen. What a remarkable place, and I'm so glad that we stopped, and it was a delightful walk in beautiful sunshine. We are in Camping St Nicholas, Le Bec Elouin, about 3.5 hours from Calais, not far from Dieppe, and it's a nice enough site. 20 or so euros with the ASCII card, I'll get the right way around. Electricity about every fourth pitch, so as with all campsites in France, be prepared to have a long lead. We didn't need a long lead this time. Facilities are good, so it's got what you would expect: showers, toilets, dishwash area. Also has a bar and a restaurant, a little shop with all your essential bits and pieces. You can also order bread and pick your bread up in the shop. Lots of wine and things in there. Bar and the restaurant area. Moules marinière and frites. It's very good. Well, here we are. It is 21:44 on the 25th of June. We're on a campsite in Normandy. We have had the most biblical storm of golf ball sized hailstones. We're in a restaurant at the time, so we kind of got trapped there. We got back to the van. The good news is that all of our glass and polycarbonate stuff is intact, but when the van was converted, it was done by somebody else, and they installed the Fiamma vent at the back of the van using star screws. Now, we carry all sorts of tools. I haven't got any sealant, but I also don't have any star screwdrivers, and the water is literally pouring through the screws.
Good job we carry a ladder with us. Well, we don't have any star screwdrivers. He's gone around asking other people if they have. He's got an idea for a temporary fix. We'll see what happens in a minute. Don't know if you can see this. Temporary fix of taping all around the edges of the vent in the hope that it stops it dripping. It has actually stopped dripping now, but you never know if it starts to rain again. The concern is that it will come through again. There were no more leaks, so dry night had. Sounds like with toddlers, doesn't it? We are walking from the campsite through the woods into the village. We've been told it gets a bit muddy if it's been raining, and so far so good, but I've just spotted a really muddy bit.
You can see all the leaf litter as a result of the hailstorm last night. Apparently the road outside the campsite was covered in leaves and branches this morning, and they came out and cleaned it because it was slippery. So we're going for a walk down to the Abbey. They've said the path is muddy, so we will see. It's okay so far. It really is quite a steep pathway for half a kilometre down into the village, and you can see where the rains have hushed all the surface of the path down and left piles of leaves and other detritus.
That was quite challenging, especially if you're wearing the wrong shoes.
So if you stay at Camping St Nicholas, I would say it's definitely worth a walk down into the village. You can walk around the Abbey grounds for free, or you can take a tour. But if you take a tour, it's €7 per person, and the tour is in rapidly spoken French. The village, on the other hand, is delightful, very pretty, and definitely worth a visit. Cup of coffee. The Abbey of Bec Hellouin inherits its name from the small adjoining stream, the Bec, and from its founder, the Knight Hellouin. In the 11th century, he retired from the court of Duke Robert I of Normandy and settled on his lands at Bonneville. Suddenly struck by devotion, he undertook construction of a monastery and gathered the faithful. In 1045, the Italian scholar Lefranco Pavia, the future Archbishop of Canterbury, settled there, carried on as a place of worship through the 17th century. During the French Revolution, the buildings were ransacked and damaged. In 1790, the last monks were expelled. In 1945, the abbey, being in very poor condition, was handed over to the Historic Monuments Department, and in 1948, the monks of the Benedictine Congregation of Mont Olivet then took the great challenge to resettle the abbey and reintroduce monastic life. And in 1959, Hellouin's body, the original knight, was solemnly reintroduced into the choir of the new church. It is still a functioning abbey and place of worship.
So we've just been in the Abbey Church. It's very
Sparse,
very simple, and a little bit creepy if you ask me. Did you find it a bit creepy? There was something in there that made me go cold.
I think it was a request for silence and nobody was being silent.
There was that.
Somehow the Abbey does not have that peace and tranquility that often you get in these spaces. But worth a visit nevertheless if you're in the area.
We're going to start the walk up. Going to be a steep walk because it's 1.8 kilometres, 72 metres elevation, past the town hall and the library and the doctor's surgery, and now we're pretty much out of the town. It's so hot and humid. This is not going to be an easy walk at all. This is the access road. It's quite a sharp right-hander. Claude struggles a little bit. If you're any longer than about 6 metres, you might really struggle. We're only a few minutes in. You can never really see hills, can you? But if I put it that way, you might be able to see how big a drop it is down there. We've not walked very far yet. We're under the trees now.
It's a very beautiful broadleaf woodland. You've got beech and elm, you've got oak, hazel. Lovely. Look at all that dinosaur food. I've not seen any dinosaurs though. Nor have I seen any crocolators or allodials. Just as well really. That would be a bit strange on top of a hill.
Just said last one there buys the beers. Looks like I'm buying the beers.
There we are. I got my reward. That's me to walk up a hill like that again.
We have just driven through Rouen on a Google Maps diversion because of roadworks. Two things I wanted to say about that. First one is, in order to drive through Rouen, it's a low emission zone, so you need to have a Crit Air sticker. You need to have registered for Crit Air. It doesn't cost very much, it's like £4 or something. And I hear a lot of people say, well, why would you do that? Oh, we don't need that. Well, you do, because look what's just happened to us. We've driven through Rouen. Unexpectedly, unplanned for. It was just as well we had the Crit Air. So that's the first thing. The second one is Google Maps took us under a bridge that was 2.6 metres. Our van is 2.5 metres. We think. We've measured it. So is there room for error in that? That's a bit scary. We think we're going to need to buy a proper sat-nav and not just rely on Google Maps. One of those sat-navs where you can put your vehicle dimensions in. If anyone's got any good ideas of a sat-nav that will help us in this situation, please comment, let us know. Thank you.
Well, we've arrived at our final campsite at Equiem Plage. It's a camping cars site. So very simple. You come in, there's a barrier, you press the button, it speaks to you in English. Press for a ticket, you get a ticket, barrier opens and you're in. Moderate facilities here, you've got bins, waste, and you can buy tokens to operate the toilet dump and get fresh water. It's just gone 3 in the afternoon. There's a few spaces, probably about 9 spaces left. And that in front of us is the English Channel, or La Manche, as we are looking at it from this side of the water. Just over there in the misty fog is Dover. We are about 50 minutes from Calais. Check-in closes 60 minutes before departure. During high season they recommend you give at least 120 minutes to allow you to get through various checks, customs, etc. Quite often on the top of these cliffs here you will see paragliders, but it's a bit misty today. When we arrived the sea fog was blowing in. Coming home tomorrow via DFDS ferries, so there we are. But no paragliders today. Just down to our left is Equiem Plage. As you can see, this is quite a steep cliffside. You can just see the beach over there in the distance. Equiem Plage. Here on the coast of Normandy. And so now it's time for a cup of tea.
I'm a traveling spirit, I've seen many shores, from the West Pacific to the island of Cano. They treat me like a son anywhere I go, and even though no one can tell, I still feel that I'm alone.
This route avoids a congestion on the A282 before the Dartford crossing. You're on the fastest route. You should reach your destination by 16:49.